me just quickly post my link. Hello, hello, stream. We have just gone live. Let me copy my link and
Nice.
let me also post it in here. Um,
I'm definitely looking forward to talking about it though. That's like probably one of the most fun things about draft for me, just like
the replay
in
analysis.
general, like talking, not even just like that, but like just like I quite enjoy like talking to people about the draft league. Like I quite like in terms of like NHL where there's so much like off season like trading and stuff like that, whereas like
Mm-hmm,
this is just a
mm-hmm.
normal draft, you're not as like fully invested. So I think that's why I've enjoyed NHL so much.
There's just so much conversation going on all the time about it. About the in season trades, the legacy records of different teams. And there's even like the recruitment and like because the team I'm on, the Obama Snows, we have like a bunch of people on our team because we're just like one, we know each other kind of closely in person, but we're also like, hey, like I don't really know how this gen works. Do you want to like give some advice on this? And I was also like, when I saw this format, I'm like, this is super cool, but I like would have no idea how to manage this like on my own because there's just so much going on in between seasons. So, and we are back. Yes, we are
Oh yeah.
back. Hello, hello, everyone.
No.
Let me do my little intro. I'm here with Ryan, who is notably who I just played last Sunday for the finals of the NHL playoffs, the Gen 5 NHL playoffs. What's the term for it? Like the season or like the
Finals, I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty good game.
you're with the goat. I am with the goat. Yeah. Um, and
Usually kind.
yeah, Ryan, you want to introduce yourself just briefly? Maybe talk about some of your history with draft leagues and how you have been liking the NHL so far.
Yeah, of course. I'm Ryan. Been doing the RB Leipzig against this past 3 seasons. I think like the first time I was playing draft, it was around the time of like, do you know like it was like a league about 10 years ago, but it was like the GBA where it would have been like A Drive and like Mega Malware and
Was that a Gen 6
Magnitude.
league then?
Yeah, it was Gen 6. So I played, I think I saw that like just on YouTube one day randomly. I was like, oh, this is sick. So I literally just like was like scrounging around like Discord and like Reddit things to be like, oh, how do
To
I join a
find
league?
out? Dang.
Yeah, that's,
So that's actually longer than I've been in the
so,
draft scene because I started right at the start of Gen 8. Um,
oh, nice.
Uh, I think I joined our home league, which was affiliated with the university I'm at, which is how a lot of our little crew of people know each other.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah, it was a
you
university
joined
club.
draft from university? That's actually sick.
Yeah, yeah. So I joined at the end of their last Gen 7 season, and then Gen 8 came out, and I was hot on the press of Gen 8 release, all the new Pokemon, all the new tech,
Oh, nice.
and
I'm almost like, oh, sorry.
no, yeah, but that's when I first started draft was in Gen 8, and then since then it's been a lot of rivalry between some of the players from that original league, and a lot of different players from that league have kind of spread their wings and gone on for directions. Notably, PGA is run by Goater, and the NHL or the NBA is run by Naheima, and they're both originally from that same league. So very
Oh,
interesting
nice.
to kind of
That's sick.
see where everyone's gone and how we've all stuck together almost.
Yeah, I see. There's like so many leagues where it's like filled with the same people from the NHL, and I've joined a bunch of them myself. I think I can't even remember what it's called, but the one I joined recently with a bunch of like low tier stuff. I think it was OTL. Like they have a lot of players, and I joined Nemya's
Yeah, yeah.
draft league as well.
Yeah, so I am also part of the OTL league. We're gonna be doing an OTL stream tomorrow to kind of go over what's going on in that league. But I know there's also the
Probably check
PWC.
it out.
Notably, a lot of recent additions to the NBA are from the PWC server, and they're a much bigger server. Um, that has a lot of different divisions. They even have like a Wi-Fi couple divisions. But PWC is really cool. And then I know Ethan, who runs the NBA, a lot of players that are in the NBA are players he scouted from the Stunfisk League. And Stunfisk ran a couple of
Very
draft
nice.
leagues a while ago. Notably, both Gotor and Overmat have won different seasons of the Stunfisk League, Stunfisk Draft League.
Oh, I remember like it was actually like such. I remember like going on doing it on my 3DS where I was doing draft leagues and like the amount of times it would DC. Like I just do not want to go back to playing
Oh no!
on it's so bad, especially 3DS.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like traumatized. But that's what I was doing a lot in Gen 6. But now it feels like
No, I
unless you're going out of your
remember.
way, like
I guess I was like in high school when Gen 6 came out, but um, the joy of just like challenging random people on like the online mode to random battles with just like your in-game team with like
oh
the
yeah, it's
legendary,
peak.
like it was so much fun of just like being able to just click on anyone who was online and say, hey, do you want to battle? And then sometimes they say no, and sometimes they say yes, and yeah, it was so easy to just like waste
No, it was
time.
simpler times.
Yeah, and then it was such a shame because I felt like they kind of like killed a lot of the online interactions in later games. So um, it was it's been kind of a frustrating experience for me seeing like how single 6v6 battles have been treated in like the mainline games, especially in like Gen
Yeah,
8.
it's definitely a lot more BGC focused right now with how popular it is.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
was almost the opposite because like I know you said you started in Gen 8, but I think that was around the time I kind of stopped playing draft. It was like end of Gen 8 is probably the one I've played the least because I think I played one at the start of it and then just got out of Pokemon for like a good part of up until really around the time of NHL. Like this was kind of like one of my first leagues back
Okay, so you just
properly
been
in
getting
about
back into the
two,
scene
3 years.
lately. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like there's a lot of players I know that like take time away because they have real life stuff. Like Mr. Gotor of the PGA, he got married this summer, so he had to like take
Oh,
time off
congrats.
of running his league to do that. And like we have other friends who like have full time
God
jobs
forbid
and
you
yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
So but yeah, no, it's been awesome like interacting with the community and seeing everyone. And like I really like how the NHL has kind of like created like an ongoing community with how the like league progression works. With you have the franchise that goes every season. So
Yeah, no, that's definitely what's kept me so invested in this league.
and like
I enjoy like the off-season trades and stuff. Like I already started, I made like a trade for, well,
oh
it wasn't
yeah,
re it was kind of like a pre-existing one for like Mega Gardevoir.
I'm honestly
Um,
terrible because I for the life of me cannot keep up with everything going on in between seasons or even just like mid season because I'm here basically to help my team scrim and help my team play when my other team members are out. But like I've heard people just like malding in other servers about like, oh my god, I can't believe I lost this NHL trade, or like, oh, my whole team screwed up because they didn't get the like legacy points for this Pokemon, and like
oh yeah, no,
I'm
it's
like,
so
what's
funny.
going on? Like
Especially like I don't even think he plays the games anymore. Is it? I don't actually know how to say his name. Naha
Nahaima.
Nemia or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Nihania,
he's
whatever.
the commissioner of the NBA. Mr.
Yeah.
I refer to
I
him
just
as
I
by
just never
Ethan,
like
but
hear it in person. I just see it on text.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't actually know how to say his name. But
No, I've he has a couple
he's
different
always like
pseudonyms
doing
I've like
trades. He
butchered in
spends
the
like the
past.
whole
So
off season.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he'll like spend the whole off season like molding over trades. Like especially last Gen 5 trade, he was like talking about like the rug pulls and I do enjoy that like some people are so invested in it like that.
Well, there's like the whole Latios situation, right? Where Latios got price jacked way, way high, and now someone was like, I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
Latios is
diabolical.
worth this many points anymore. So
No, it's so funny. I remember at the start of it, I just like I was like so salty that I lost Starmie just because I'm an idiot and didn't read the rules. It's about franchise tagging. So
yeah, yeah.
I just instantly put it to 20 and just hope for the best. But like by the end of it, it was almost like not even that extortionate when you're seeing like Latios go for like double the price.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And like Starmie was a defining mon of Gen 5, so like it makes sense that something like that gets that high.
Yeah, I was happy enough. I was just like scared it would go up even higher, and especially when like Fortress was going for like 18 points, I was like, oh God, someone's gonna turn around and bid on this. But
No, I've
yeah,
always been a huge Starmie fan, so I respect it. Um, I just want to look quickly at the results at the end of the season here. Notably, Guts Brigade, who was not in the finals, but they were probably the favorite to win the whole season for Gen 5. They went 5-0, had 21 diff. They absolutely, uh, you know, had a stand up performance. Also 5-0
oh
though
yeah,
was the Shiftries and the Drillbers. Notably the Drillbers, we played the Abominators. We played the Drillbers in round one of playoffs in quarters. Um, and
yeah. I remember that being like, oh sorry, continue.
oh yeah, no, no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I remember that being like, I was thinking that they had a decent matchup against you just because I think they had like Blastoise, was it Garchomp and Seismitoad, so like
Yeah,
good
yeah.
Excadrill answers, but they ended up pulling it out.
Well, the funny thing is that the Drillbers and the Abomasnows, when I first joined this league in Gen 3, I was like, hey, like both these teams want me, like what are you gonna do to like to get my contract as a a professional team player? And so I made them play free for all Ranbats against each other, and the winner got to keep me on their team. And so since then it's been like
That's like such an honorable way to join a team.
yeah, exactly. So it's been a lot of like back and forth. We all know each other, the two teams, so a lot of back and forth rivalry going that way.
That's pretty
I
sick
almost
that you
threw that
won.
Ranbat
You
too. Yeah,
won.
exactly. Um, and so the offer still stands. If everyone really wants my contract for me on their team, you just gotta beat my current team in a free for all Ranbat. So that's still on the
No,
table.
I'll keep that in mind. I might take you up on
um, but yeah, so yeah, in the Sheffield Shiftries, I haven't actually followed them too much, but I believe that's piloted by Alfonso, also 5-0. So three different teams on 5-0 this season, which was crazy. I know when you
I
have
think it's like Shifty Swamps or something, or I don't know if maybe that's like his name. Or
okay, yeah, yeah, Alfonso's on Guts. Okay,
I think
okay.
I think Alfonso, yeah, got to have like five people. That's insane.
Well, I know it was
Then there's
just
like me.
Naima for a while, and then they recruited a bunch of people this generation. Just because I think Naima was busy and other people were interested in the format but didn't want to have their own team. So yeah, definitely a very, very, very interesting to see that some of these teams are like really stacked. They got a whole team. They got a whole like corporate uh, collection of oh, this guy's the treasurer. This guy does all our scrims, going on. And then you have some of the other teams where it's just one guy who has like no idea all the history. They just joined this season, so they're trying to keep
It's
up with
like
everything
literally
going
me.
on.
I've like failed to recruit people like this whole time, and then I got a brother, and then he's just like been too busy to help. So I'm just it's just like, although to
Yeah.
be fair, like other coaches have helped me like throughout playoffs especially. So
Oh yeah,
that's been
yeah.
good.
No, there's always people who are like, yo, you want to scrim for this matchup? I'm rooting for you. So,
Yeah,
um, lots of trading advice back and forth that way. I'm trying to think if there's any other like big teams on here. I honestly, I'm so like I'm just here to play my matchup for the week and forget about everything else. So I don't really know a lot of the team v team history or like the legacy of some of these teams around here because I know like there's some teams I recognize of being here since the Gen 3 days, but now we're in Gen 5 going into Gen 6, so it's like there's a lot of new faces too.
yeah. I think it's a lot of the. I mean, I don't really know that many people here super well, but I'll talk to them in chat and stuff, and I was like, a lot of the ones that I know better would be the ones I've just seen in the league for longer, like from Gen 3. So
Well, and then there's
yeah,
also
it's
the
been
people who
been
like
fun.
are notorious for yapping in the
Oh
post
yeah,
game or
Tulips, like
like the general
Tulips, they're
chat.
funny.
Yeah, I
She'll,
know.
she'll just be like writing like just be writing paragraphs and like I appreciate your service.
Yeah, I know Tulip is pretty notorious amongst a bunch of our teams and our crew because there was a huge argument back in the PGA about Quebec and French. So Uh,
Excellent.
so yeah, that was pretty funny. Um, but yeah, let's anything else you want to say about how the season went? I know like our perspective as the Bombers knows, we had a couple games we lost, and we were like, bro, how do we lose that? We should have had that in the bag, and then we really like pulled up our bootstraps for playoffs, and part of it was also like
Yeah.
our main
Okay, continue actually. Finish.
player, Mr. Roy Snover, he's been really busy with a lot of personal stuff lately. Um, don't want to spoil too much, but basically he's got a family starting, so lot of time commitment kind of
Oh,
going away to
amazing.
that, and so like me and Gotor and some of our other team members have really pulled up to be like, okay, I got to play this game. Yeah, yeah. Congrats to Yoitz. Congrats to Royce. Absolutely. Um, but I was like, okay, I got you, bro, Doro. Like, I'll play this game. I have no idea what's been going on half the time, but you know what? I'm here to pull up, and I've been really happy to play a
You're
bunch
just
of these
there to
playoffs
lock in,
games.
yeah.
Yeah, literally lock in. Yeah, lock in. So, uh,
No, I remember, yeah, I think even just going into the season, I was probably the three teams I was most scared of was like Guts Brigade, you guys, and like the Rain team, just because like Kingdra, like I feel like with Kingdra and Rain, you just have to like kill a few mons and then it
oh
just suddenly
shoot,
just
yeah.
sweeps the game.
Wait, who had Kingdra?
And
Because I know.
I think I remember even just like the last game of the season, you were against them, and if you'd beat them, they were out. And I was like hoping that you would beat them because it's like another weather team just out of the way that I don't want to face. But
Yeah,
when you were
yeah.
saying about like favorites, I was thinking like
Bouncers.
either Guts Brigade or probably you guys. I think even Guts Brigade, like they told me after they were like they were expecting to face you guys in playoffs no matter what. So
Wait, who's the bouncers? So the
yeah, that's the rain team. That I think it's CT something. I don't know.
Oh, Philadelphia. There we go. I scrolled past it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. C2. Yeah, no. I was gonna say, there's a certain player in the NBA and a couple other leagues who's notorious for always taking Kingdra, even when it's not good, which is funny. But yeah, this is very standard, very very good Gen 5 Rain team. I don't know if we played them or not,
I
but
think he's played them the last week of regular season because I
where?
think he's lost the first game to like Flygons or something. Because I was like looking at your replays and stuff before this
Oh,
because
we
I was like
did play
sweating about
them.
it.
Oh, we lost 1-0 to them. Huh.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Because like I think your team was like probably better than like a 3-2 record on paper. Like when I was prepping for you guys, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, no. I when I saw this format, I was like, okay, we got extra drill, we got sand rush, and then I thought about it more, and then I was like, wait, why is that legal? And then I heard about the whole drama of like they didn't want to rug pull people, they didn't want to like mess with the
Oh
weather
yeah.
cores, and so because of that, they had to legalize all the like sand rush and sandstream. And I was like, oh, that's so funny, but God, did we get out on top of that? That's crazy. Um,
Oh yeah, no, that's insane.
so yeah. Anyways, I think that's. Is there anything else you really want to say about like overall season? Because I think we should just get right into our game before we get too
Yeah, it's
sidetracked.
probably saying the game. Sorry if I'm yapping too much.
No, no, no. That's what we're here for. The one thing I did want to say before I forgot is Stormtide, who is the primary league commissioner alongside Glittering Atlas. Stormtide and I,
Yeah.
we partnered up for a PGA season. Um, it was me, him, and Corey, and so I got a sweet spot for my boy Stormtide. He was super fun to team with for that team season, and is really chill. Runs like he's just such a like easygoing, nice guy. So I love Stormtide, and I'm like so happy to see his league doing well.
Oh yeah, I know the guys run the league. I know sometimes people, even myself in the past, and it's mostly when I was just being like stupid. I remember in like Gen 4, I didn't know that we had to like protect things, so I was like, fuck, like all my evolution things, they're all fucked over in like my plan. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
last, yeah, and I was an idiot and didn't tag Stormy, so like sometimes I'm like, oh, the rules are so annoying, but they've done such a great job with the
No,
league.
it
It's
honestly
been
feels
fun.
like building your like drafting your team is more complicated than actually building your teams for each week. Like with how much is going
Oh
on
yeah.
with the legacy points, the reserving mons, the trades. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So I definitely
Yeah, no, it's done a
love
really
that
good
aspect
job.
of the league. Um, but with that said, let's get into our game. Notably, we have the custom rules of Sand Rush and Sandstream and all the speed boosting abilities being legal.
Yeah, I remember when you changed that in the lobby. I was like, I feel like he's definitely just bringing Mold Breaker, but obviously it makes sense to allow it.
No, I was making sure that we were having the right rule set because it would, if it wasn't legal, it would have given away that it wasn't Sandstream
Yeah, no,
or Sand Rush.
it made sense. Of course, I was just
So,
like, that's like definitely a mind game.
but I also like, oh, if it doesn't have the rule set on, like then maybe it'll be like, oh shoot, I have
Yeah,
to
you can't
resubmit.
even do it. Yeah.
So,
It makes
um,
sense. Yeah.
but yeah, you brought a really interesting six. I got a comment there who says I need to know who made the sets for the Obama Snows. If you want any if you ever see a really weird spread on the Mons we bring, 90% of the time it's Mr. Gotor himself. He loves to cook up crazy EV spreads. And anytime that I'm like, I don't know about this EV spread, he ends up selling me on it, and I'm like, okay, fine, sure, whatever. Like, you know what?
No, I'm
I
also,
believe
I,
you.
I also, that's like the most fun part of it. There was one point in the season, like it didn't even really work, but I went almost like max speed Pythagoras to like outspeeded Umbreon and like set up a sub against it. I mean, it was awful, but sometimes you
No,
just have to try things.
yeah. So something that Mr. Gotor has been a great proponent of is what he calls the scouting report, and he pulled up that set that you brought and was like, "Yeah, you got to be careful. Like he's brought some crazy speed creeps," and I was like,
I
"Oh,
actually feel honored.
yeah, yeah."
Someone's just like,
But
this
I was
guy's
like, I
like
gotta
absolutely
respect it. That's
insane.
hilarious. Or like our semifinals matchup, he pulled up some of the speed creeps that they brought, and I was like, what do you mean they ran like 24 speed on this mon and it doesn't actually hit any benchmarks? It was just like to be like a vibe check, I guess, speed creep.
Oh yeah, no, I can
So
respect it.
yeah, I thought that
So
was
yeah,
really
how
funny
did
too.
you feel about the matchup going in?
So going into the matchup, I felt pretty good about it. Um, Especially because in our scrims, a lot of people had brought Rotom Heat against us, and our whole game plan, for the most part, was that we wanted to abuse Mold Breaker Drill to catch your Levitate Mons off guard, and so kind of going off of that, the scrims went pretty well from our perspective. And then I looked at the lead matchup, and you didn't bring Rotom Heat, which I thought was like a pretty notable change than what we had play tested against. And beyond that, I was like, okay, the rest looks pretty standard. We were surprisingly worried about Shaman in the prep because of how grass and water weak our team is. So Shaman
Yeah,
was definitely a thing I was like a little bit like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm like respecting that appropriately.
for me, I was just so scared of Clefable because I actually obviously I've got a Tracheon, but I've got a lot of special attackers and stuff like Rotom Heat and Shaman. Like outside of Clefable, they can do a lot, like with like Leech Seed and stuff. But like I was like, there was one point in prep where I was bringing like multiple choice specs users literally just to like
Just to
trick
punch through.
Clefable and that as well, or like trying to trick a Clefable if I just feel like I can't kill it. I don't know. Sometimes I just get like fixated on random stuff.
No, I
But
definitely did the same thing where you're like, okay, this one mon is like super annoying for me to break through, and then you build your whole team to beat it, and then it's like not actually that much of a problem, and something else catches you off guard because you didn't prep for it at all. So it's definitely like a classic fallacy to fall into as a draft player is like the over prepping for one mon you're scared of, and then not prepping for the rest of the team.
yeah, for sure. I think also I was kind of surprised like no Slowbro, but I was kind of scared of Gallade, and it's like a pretty decent like Terrakion answer in a pinch as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Rotom was like probably the most surprised I was with your team. Uh, but
Yeah, so the
yeah,
funniest thing is we had like a whole debate. Me and Goder had a giant debate in prep about if we should bring Slowbro or Hippo, and I managed to convince him to bring Hippo, and then he was like, "Damn, we would have won if we had Slowbro." And I was like, "Oh my god, shut up, dude!" Like, so mild spoilers for I guess the result, but yeah, I thought that was really funny. And at the
yeah,
end of the day,
no,
it was just for memes. But I was like, bro. So,
No, you have to pick six. I do think that is part of it as well, just like predicting what the other person's gonna bring and just like trying to adapt when you're like, oh shit, I'm so weak to this random thing.
Yeah. Oh, and Papa Drix is saying the weather war was huge in the mocks from your side. Did he help you scrim then, or?
Oh yeah, Drix was like pretty clutch at all the playoffs, especially like against Guts Brigade. Like I felt like my matchup was like so bad against them, especially,
Mm-hmm.
and he just let me like keep testing stuff until I found something that worked. So he was pretty clutch playoffs, and also saw helped me I think in the first round. But yeah,
Yeah, no, you gotta call on the sports like when all the money's on the line. You gotta pull up. So, um, anyways, I'm just gonna start the replay now. And we can talk about our lead matchup. So I saw that you didn't bring Rotom Heat, and I saw that you had two grass types. And initially, my game plan was to always lead Drill if I saw Rotom Heat on another team. And I realized that like okay, most of the things that I would want to lead Drill into are not actually here, and so that's why I led Rotom Heat because I was the most scared of Hydreigon. Um, but you led Hydreigon, which was like okay. I was like okay, I got the lead right, but it doesn't mean I'm in a good position because Hydreigon kind of destroys our team. We've struggled all season because our team doesn't actually have a single Dark Resist, and Hydreigon was like a huge threat for us in Planner.
yeah. I think in this gen, it like the steel still resists dark. I always forget that as well. But like in general, it was, and even like Hydreigon had like so much coverage for extra drills, so I saw that was scary. And yeah, you're about to see. I brought choice specs just to try to dent you as much as possible. But
Mm-hmm,
this
mm-hmm.
Rotom was like so interesting. I guess you can play it. Sorry.
Yeah, so this was kind of my concoction. We were trying to figure out how to deal with Hydreigon in any meaningful manner, and part of the reason we didn't bring Clef is because I personally felt like it wasn't even that good of a check to Hydreigon, because it's not a fairy type this gen; it's normal type, and so Draco just chunks through it. It doesn't resist Dark Pulse, so can't even switch on in that. So I was like, okay, like what if we just brought like Rotom instead, and at least we can trick or use Pain Split and do the Rotom shenanigans. And that's why we eventually came across Iron Ball Trick. Partly also because Iron Ball can turn off Levitate on a bunch of mons on your team.
Oh, I didn't even think about that because I was for the longest time I was like, why would you not just like bring Thunderwave? Because I've got no ground types,
Yep.
which has been like a pain the whole season. Which I refuse to have another gen of having like a really bad ground type.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
yeah, the Iron Ball makes a lot of sense in that regard actually, like, against Bronzong and potentially Rotom.
But yeah, no, like we were not really sure what to do with the Rotom set, and then we were looking at like Lagging Tail Trick or like Sticky Barb Trick, and I was like, wait a minute, like Iron Ball does the same thing as Lagging Tail basically, and also removes ground immunity. So, uh, yeah, it was basically to have the grounding effect, because as much as we are Mold Breaker Drill, it actually mattered for Hippo too, because the fact that you had so many ground resists and ground immunes was really annoying for Hippo like running attack moves. And I was like, yeah, I think Iron Ball is where we're at. And so we give the Hydreigon the Iron Ball here. We get the choice specs on us, which is kind of funny that we are now the choice specs spawn. But then you're kind of forced out, and we just go for the Volt Switch here. Um, and you bring in Bronzong. Now, I probably should have calced this Volt Switch better. One of the things I'm terrible for, and I know Mr. Gotor will be yelling at me about this sometime this season or next season or who knows when, but I'm terrible for not always just calcing everything. I'm very much like a vibes based player. If I see something, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's probably Spadef. Or I see a move do like 50. I'm like, okay, so the super effective move will do like 1.5 times that. So I'm a very lazy on my calcs.
No, I can respect that. I'm kind of the opposite. I just like I take like hours doing prep and like I'll just calc everything in battle just to try to ensure I don't make misplays, which still sometimes happens as you constantly saw during this game. But yeah,
But yeah, I used the free switch to go into Darm here. What was your thought process when you saw Darm? Because I know like Darm is a mon we haven't brought to a lot of games this season, but I've always been a huge Darmanitan believer. Um, so
No, I was pretty scared of this thing. I actually made like a last second change. I don't even think we saw it during the game, but I was doing mocks and this thing was like just cleaning up the game in a lot of them. Just with a choice scarf. I mean, I was 100% certain it would be choice scarf because it's kind of I've just got a lot of fast things where otherwise you wouldn't be able to outspeed it. But
Yeah, its feature was
it
kind
just
of
can
awkward
chunk
into like
everything.
Hydreigon and Shaman. So
Yeah, it's a pretty awkward. Like I have a few things that can like switch in sometimes, but yeah, it was pretty scary. Don't mind it.
mm-hmm. But yeah, I just go for the U-turn on the switch here, because I half expected Terrakion or something to come in, and I just wanted to get momentum here to keep up the. We knew that like our Volt Switch turn, our core was really good into you, especially because you said you didn't have a ground resist or electric immune. Sorry, a
Oh
ground
yeah,
type. So that was kind of just the game plan here, was switch a lot. And then Shaman comes in on this Thunderbolt. I'm pretty sure this revealed a fair bit of Spit F. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, and for anyone wondering, this comment here, as he stopped ghosting, um, I was talking with some of the mods of a different Pokemon League, and I was just checking in while I was waiting for turns, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you texting me during your game? Go play your game." And I was like, so I sent him this because he was like harassing me for like unrelated to this game. I was talking about other Pokemon stuff, and he's like, "Yo, what the heck? Play your game." So
no fair.
so it was kind of like an inside joke. But a lot of people were like, "Yo, wait, what's going on?" The
That's too funny.
the
I think I
question
did
mark.
see that, but I was just kind of like, whatever. I'm just locking it.
No, something that our league, the NBA as well, is notorious for is we have a lot of yapping in showdown chat. People we have like we've had people like chant up every time stealth racks go up. We've had people spam like 1, 2, 3 every time we get a flinch with like a Jirachi or something. So we love to talk shit and yap in the in game chat. So I was like, whenever I play games, I'm always like half playing the spectator or the what's the term? What's the term for it? I'm putting on a show for the people basically. So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and then you reveal hidden power. What was this hidden power, by the way? I didn't check it. Was it
I'm pretty
fire?
sure it was ice because it was ice. I actually forgot because I know I do understand why I didn't bring Salamence with like two potential ice shard users and like just generally like bronze lung's annoying for it. But I was
Yeah,
still kind of like scared. I still felt like some life orb dragon dance. I didn't even raid play against it in prep. They basically have the same idea, but I
well,
don't
I
know.
mean,
I feel like you can just never be too careful with like dragon dance and dragon types in this gen.
yeah, well, and the combination of Earth Power and Seed Flare is really good into our team, with the exception of both Mence and Rotomo, and HP Ice hits both of them, so it makes a lot of sense for it. Um,
Yeah,
but I was like, I saw that HP go off, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's just something, some random coverage move. And this Gallade was a very weird set. It was a lot of Spit F. And I remember someone said halfway through the game, like, you gotta show me what this Gallade set is, because this thing's goofy as, like, you know.
yeah. I actually forgot to calc the hidden power, but yeah, no, I probably should have, and then that would have revealed a bit more about your set. But yeah, as soon as I saw this Gallade, I was like, I'm going straight to this fucking coffin.
Yeah, no, and this was Max Fizdef Koff. And
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, I just scout to see if you have the Shadow Ball to break sub. And then I do let Darm take a Shadow Ball there, which wasn't ideal, but I kind of felt like it was a free switch if you clicked Will-O-Wisp as well.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I was just like unwilling to like let you get up a sub or something stupid, so I just had to. I felt like I had to do Shadow Ball.
Mm-hmm. And then I think so I then doubled to Jolteon because I realized when I went into Darm here that Darm didn't actually do anything to you. I was like, I calced off Flare
Yeah,
Blitz and I was like, wait, it's not even like a 2-hit KO. Like, this is not good for me. And I'm going to take a bunch of chip. So, like, with the Flare Blitz recoil. So then I doubled back to Jolteon. So I felt like I kind of wasted a turn here. But It worked out because you also doubled out, and then I got to scout what the Terrakion was, and when I saw this close combat damage, I was like, I'm pretty confident that you were Scarf. Um,
Yeah.
and then yeah, you're gonna switch out to reset the weather. I thought this was smart actually going Obama Snow here. Um, I was expecting like Shaman to come in, which is why I went hard drill. But
Oh, this turn like pains me because my abomination set was it was like super goofy. I don't know actually. I wasn't as happy with my team this time around, like as I was in semis. But at the end, I because I was so scared of like Clefable and just generally at wall in my team, my abomination was like max attack, focus punch, like substitute. And that
yeah,
turn against Excadrill, I was like so tempted to focus blast because it did kind of make sense to or to focus punch to get rocks up for you. And as soon as I didn't do that, I was like, oh, I possibly could have just won the game right there. But
yeah. No, I would have respected that. I'm
I
a
mean,
huge fan of
it's too
Focus
scary.
Punch, but I saw your set afterwards, and I was so confused. But I guess as like, if you're trying to like just force Clefable out and hit something really hard, it makes sense. And like, grass and ice coverage was pretty good against our team as a whole. So I was like, okay, like, I was like, at first I saw the set, and I was like, what the heck? And then I thought about it more. I was like, okay, no. Like the offensive pressure that it puts on our team is pretty good. So
Yeah, it was weird, but I was like, against certain things, I could force them out and just hope to get advantage. Also, I'm like known substitute abuser, so
mm-hmm. And then Shaman comes in on the drill, and I'm faster than your Shaman. I kind of like checked the calc earlier against it to see if I was faster. But I kind of assumed that you were gonna be mostly bulk invested, so I was probably gonna be faster because our drill was like, I think it was speed creeping timid Rotom, so it was pretty speed invested. And then
yeah, it makes sense.
it makes sense that you go to Pythagoras here um, to take that move. The X's are like it's nothing. And yeah, you're forced to Shadow Ball to kill me. Jolteon can take the chip. Although I did actually end up regretting this later on in the game, which we'll see why later. But yeah, Jolteon comes in
Yeah,
with Shadow
I
Ball.
think at this point I was getting like a lot of chip in your team. Like Darmanitan was almost half, Jolteon was getting chip, like
Mm-hmm.
Rotom was low, so I was like pretty happy with the game at this point.
And then here I go. This is also another thing where I'm like, oh, like I thought about like around this time in the game, I was like, wait a minute, I'm just letting everything take chip. Like maybe this isn't like going as well. Like I gotta be a little bit more careful. But yeah, I went into Glade expecting a Dark Pulse to get the Justified boost. And you went for Draco, which made sense too. And then I just go for damage on Pythagoras here, and then you end up killing me with the Shadow Ball. But I'm happy because I know that I needed about this damage on Pythagoras in order to kill it with Darm or Drill. So
Yeah,
uh,
Darmanitan at this point is like super scary for me.
yeah, and then I just get a free Volt Switch out as Obama Snow comes in. I go into Darmantan, and then I get another U-turn. So I'm just like using the blender here basically. Um,
Oh yeah.
that crit I don't think mattered because of your spread, but I was like,
No, I
I
don't
was
think it matters.
I was calcing the damage on you to see if you were like HP invested or defense invested because I was like, is there a role where U-turn doesn't kill? And then I was like, the more I looked at your set and the damage I dealt, I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I'm so confused. Um, so yeah, so
Yeah, that Darmanitan set was kind of unserious.
yeah,
But we both.
and then yeah, here's the turn where you get the double right. Um, you know that I'm gonna go to Hippo on the CC, and you just go hard Shaman, which
Yeah, I
barely
really needed this.
lives.
This was yeah, it's like so close. I was like double checking like what was sand damage. I was like, I definitely did this right. So this was pretty massive because I actually had an answer to some of your
Yeah,
like Jolteon and Excadrill. Otherwise, like it was really scary for me.
the rest natural cure was a tech that I honestly had forgotten about, and like I was like, oh yeah, that's a good set. That's sick. So and then I get the Volt Switch. That crit also didn't matter because I believe I was choice specs from stealing yours.
Yeah,
And then yeah, then this comes back in, and here's the turn where like you were like, oh dude,
yeah.
you
No,
felt so bad. Because I
I
stay
actually
in.
thought I just like threw the game, honestly.
Notably though, I get a lower X scissor roll than I did the first time. So the first time I think I did like 40-ish, 41, and this did 36. So I was like a little bit worried that now I didn't get the right rolls to kill this. But you preserve it, which makes sense. Um, and then I get the kill on Cophagus, although it was basically dead to rocks and sand chip anyways, so that made sense. And then this is the big turn that really changed the end game was I go to Hippo knowing you're gonna stay in close combat, but I should have just sacked Drill, and instead Hippo takes a crit close combat, which is notably because of Gen 5 mechanics, crits do double damage. So
Oh yeah, no, that's
if this was a 1.5 crit, I think I still would have lived afterwards. But with the double damage crit,
likely.
it's
It would have been maybe it would have been close, but yeah, the two times crit is it's diabolical. Luckily, you won't ever have to deal with that again. But
oh, dude, I'm so
yeah, I
glad
don't know.
because
I,
they
I
also
think
lowered crit chance as well. I believe.
I think they actually brought it up. I think it used to be five in Gen 5. I think it was like 5%. I mean, if you believe it, because it happens like all the time.
Let me
There's
double
like
check.
three crits in this game already, but I think they might have brought it up like to 6.25 or something, but then lowered it to 1.5, which is definitely better.
Critical hit. Let's see. Because I know it changes from generation 2 to 5. It deals 2 times the normal damage. Here, let me just copy the link over so people in chat can stream can see it. Um, blah blah blah.
But
There's an animation of Gallade taking a critical hit, which is funny. Um,
no,
uh,
but on that shaman turn, like when I didn't just kill Exegil, I feel like if I'd have literally just because even if you just swapped into Hippo, it basically would have allowed me to go into Shaman for free
mm-hmm.
because you're either like earthquaking to kill the Tracheon or else slacking off. And from there, I also brought Octoberry. This is like a very late change just because of how scared I was of Darmanitan.
Yeah.
And I had like Octoberry Earth Power to kill it. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was basically getting a kill because Jolteon can't really come in that well. And like Extra couldn't come in or else Rotom. The only thing I was scared of was like Rotom being like faster and plane splitting and then I'm potentially fucked. But I know it was like minimum speed, so I don't know. I just feel like I kind of threw the game switching out on drill. I think I was just trying to be too clever to catch like a Hippowdon, but
So the reason why I basically called your bluff on this was because I was looking at the game from your perspective, and I was thinking, okay, like I'm up the sack count right now, and I have a pretty much full health Hippo that always checks this Tracheon, and so the only way for you to really win is to basically get enough value off of Shaman forcing out Hippo, and so my perspective is if I was you, like I need to catch Hippo to win the game, and so I was like, with that in mind, I'm gonna stay in, force him, like catch him on the shaman, and then I have enough momentum to clear through the rest of the game from there. So that's like that was my perspective. Is I was like looking at it from like how would my opponent win, and then I stayed in and go for the X scissor, which catches the shaman, and now, like you said, you were like, oh shoot, like um, the devastating that turned Henry devastated after a mox from Papa Drix, like so.
oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that was my perspective on it. So I was definitely like, I understand kind of like the panic that's set in there.
Oh no, definitely. I don't I just felt like it was if you'd have just went into Hippo and I went into Shaman, like the game was still definitely like playable because as you see, like Scarf Track on all it needs is just Hippo being weakened somehow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so and
Oh
then
yeah.
instead of sacking drill here, which I probably should have done, the reason I saved it was because I was actually worried about losing an end game to Bronzong. Um,
Yeah, Exodus was quite like good against you to be fair, so I do understand it. But
but I should have
I think
gone
you
hard
probably
Rotom here.
if you just sack something, you I probably can't win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have gone Mo, because it was not doing anything. It was like it was gonna be slower than Shaman. and like I was mostly saving it as like
It
a
was like
sack.
choice specs now as well. So yeah,
Yeah, and like I made this play, and then I got the crit came off, and I was like, I wasn't like as mad as I would normally be because I was like, you know what, like that's the thing I could have played around, and I didn't. I chose not to respect the crit, or I didn't choose not to respect, but I forgot about respecting the crit, and I got punished for it. So I know like a lot of people were like, bro, I'd be like punching my computer after that game, and I was like, nah, dude, like at the end of the day, like this game was super fun and super close, and I made the mistake of not respecting the crit here, and that's what cost me the game. So definitely very like
yeah, I do understand what you mean. I think there is like you can say that you maybe should have just sacked something to be safe, but also like 90, what's it, like 95% of the time or whatever it is, you would have just won the game. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
it is just unlucky.
But yeah, and then everything loses to Scarf CC, and that's pretty much just the game. So, Terrakion coming in clutch. I know a lot of people have been sleeping on Terrakion in recent gens, and you gotta put some respect on the bull. Um, the definitely,
Yeah, I've kind of been sleeping on using it, even though like during the regular season, like infamously, like Hydreigon on and Terrakion didn't even manage to get 4 kills to be like all-star.
yeah, yeah.
And that's I've been pretty shit with it, so
But no,
understandable.
I think you definitely deserved your win. I was like, I could definitely tilt off the face of the earth about the crit, but like that whole game, like we were both trying to catch each other. We were both like, I know I like kind of had the momentum for parts of the game. And like you said like, dude, I like felt defeated that whole game, but I was like, no, like at the end of the day, like you played really well. There was like a bunch of lines that I was like, if he's smart, he does this, and he does it. And then you did exactly that, and I was like, okay, like I gotta respect my opponent. So, um, yeah, a lot of
No, it was a super fun game.
super fun game. Yeah,
Kind of sad how it happened, like because it does obviously feel a bit dirty, but I mean,
dirty. Hey,
I'm
you gotta
still
play
kind of
dirty
like,
to win
I'm still kind
sometimes.
of proud, like I'm still kind of proud of the season. Like the semifinals game against like Guts was like a big one because I think they'd won like 13 games in a row.
Oh
So
yeah,
as
no,
much as I
they
got super lucky in the finals, I still put in some work throughout the season.
they were absolutely on a kill streak. So
Yeah,
I can respect the fear. And like the Guts Brigade and our team are also have like similar to us and the Drillbers. We have like a heated rivalry that goes back between a whole bunch of old seasons and the NBA and
yeah,
our old university
just like
league. So when I found out that we weren't playing them in the finals, it's like, wait, what the heck happened? Like,
yeah, literally understandable.
I
I
think
think
you.
my team was good, but it probably wasn't like on paper as good as like your guys and Guts from it.
Well, I think you were watching my stream last week when I was talking about your game against them, and you're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
I have no idea how I got away with this win." And I was like, "Damn, okay." like, so
I was like, I was like, as it was going on, I was like, oh my God, like I've got a chance here because I don't know, Wall Rain just went insane. But going
oh
into that, I
yeah,
was like, oh no, this is so bad.
no, I
Like,
saw
I
that
don't know
wall
how to
rain,
win
and
this.
I was like, "Okay, yeah, this is classic Gen 5. This is the type of stuff. This is the reason why Gen 5 was such a like messed up, power hungry
Yeah, I know,
generation. Is this
it's
type of
so
shit."
unserious.
So yeah, let me just quickly check the teams here. So our hippo was full Fizdef. Our Darm was Jolly's Choice Scarf. We were at one point running Adamant, and then in one of our scrims, we got owned by Choice Scarf Rotom, which I wasn't. I didn't really think that you would bring, but a bunch of our like scrim partners did, and so I was like, fine, I'll concede and run Jolly, just to play it safe.
Yeah,
Um,
I understand that kind of. I think I was just like scared of like free switches into Hippo and just like getting up rocks for free and just like random stuff.
mhm. We
But I
had HP
understand Rotom
Rock
was like pretty decent.
Jolteon. I'm trying to remember what HP Rock was for.
It
Um,
was probably for Rotom, I'd imagine.
yeah, yeah, for Rotom. There we go. And then our this was my concoction was the Rotom set. So, um, the Iron Ball trick, specifically to one catch like the fast mons. Like if we give your choice scarf Terrakion a Iron Ball, that'd be huge.
Yeah,
Giving
no, that
Hydreigon
it's pretty
the Iron
good.
Ball was also big. Um, And then like you said, your team had no ground type, but you had two natural cure mons, and I was like, it feels so lame to click T Wave even though it's free, and just have Shaman come in every time and then switch out for free later. And it's like,
Yeah, no, that's fair. That was like a big thing for me during the season, just being able to like absorb like toxic and stuff like that.
yeah, and like,
Especially like Shaman. Shaman I can just like throw in down and then like not really be punished that much.
well, and that's part of why Starmie was so dominant in earlier generations. Was natural cure spam was so good into T Wave and all the stuff going around. Um,
Oh
so
yeah.
and then the Glade was this was a Goater special set, plus Spadef nature, a lot of speed investment, bulk up to attacks. Um,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
no, pretty cool.
unfortunately, it did struggle against Cophagus, and Cophagus was kind of a big problem for our team. I did forget halfway through the game that Steel still resists Shadow Ball this gen, but I also just did not want to risk Drill getting wisped. So,
No, that's
um,
fair. I think you never really want to bring Drill into Pythagoras. It's
and
just too
then
risky.
Drill was we were Sash Drill. At one point, we were Choppleberry, and I was like, if we're not running Sandrush Drill, isn't Sash just better? Especially if we plan to lead it, like as an anti-lead. So me and Mr. Goat argued about that a little bit. But yeah, this is basically like a dedicated lead to lure Rotom Heat or Bronzong with the Mold Breaker. Um,
Yeah, it makes sense.
and then so you said that the Bomb and Snow set was really weird. Because I remember looking at this set post game, and I was like, wait, what? At first, I was like,
Oh yeah, that's so fucking. It's like such a random set, but I was just. I also I think with this spread, I would kill Gallade a lot of the time with Woodhammer. I think yours was really bulky, so it might have been a roll or like pretty close.
right, but against
But
offensive Gallade, you can just Woodhammer it.
yeah, and like as I was saying, I was really scared of the Fable. I actually mocked against like a Calm Mind, Ice Beam, T-Bolt the Fable, which I didn't know
Ooh.
necessarily would happen. But like I was getting cooked like in most of my mocks until like I finally found a team I was reasonably happy with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, but no, I don't know. I think I probably could have brought a better bonus instead, but whatever.
And then this Shaman
It
set
happened.
I thought was really well crafted. Um, like I said, like Earth Power Seed Flare destroyed a lot of our team, and then HP Ice covered the few things it didn't. And then the rest as the last move came in super clutch that game. Um, so
Oh yeah,
definitely very threatening. I was like, wait a minute, I can't run Synthesis because of the weather. And then you clicked Rest, and I was like, oh my god, wait, yeah, that's sick. So, um,
yeah. I think it might be the first time I ran that because I'm usually just like pressing leech seed every game. But
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Bronzong was skill swap. I thought this was funny because I was like imagining like, wait, what happens if you skill swap Mold Breaker off of Drill? But I don't know how
no,
that would work
not
in
very good.
practice. But um, yeah, like Toxic Earthquake, Rocks, Lefties, like pretty standard Bronzong shenanigans. Um,
Yeah, it's just basically like if I'm just unable to kill the Fable, just like something to at least force it out.
oh, because you can skill swap the Magic Guard and Toxic it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, you don't understand how terrified I was of it.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, Clefable, definitely is a menace in later gens, and so if with that context, it's like it makes sense to respect it so much. Um,
Even like outside of like some setup or something, like actually just finding something to take a T wave. Obviously, like you've got like Shaman, but equally like Shaman can't like leech seed it, or you can run it like bulky enough to where Seed Flare just doesn't do that much damage. So
yeah,
I don't know. I was just like really scared of it, but I do understand like what you were saying about it not being able to take on choice specs, Hydreigon. Like it can't really switch into a Dark Pulse that well, or like focus past Draco. So I do
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
understand it from your perspective. But even like half my team here, like Cophagus can't really do anything. Bronzong just kind of laughs at it. Shaman. It was another thing with Starmie that I almost brought but didn't. Like it just can't really break through to Fable.
mm-hmm.
Rotom Heat as well. Like unless it's like choice specs, like Overheat, which I was trying, but like even then, if it's like really specially defensive, it can potentially take two, and you're not getting chipped by a Sandstorm with Magic Guard. So
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. I was just terrible at
yeah, and Overheat kind of let in other stuff on our team for free if you got too low in special attack, so it made sense to like respect that. Also, yeah, really good comment here. You could toxic us if you're Magic Guard, and then skill swap later, and just let toxic build because it keeps the toxic timer even when you have Magic Guard. Um,
Yeah, it's true. It's so funny against like Glyco or something that just gets one
yeah,
shot at
yeah,
the
the
end of the
worry
turn.
seed glide score type counterplay. And then your two choice users were pretty standard. Nothing like out of the ordinary here. Two different cover moves to hit drill, focus blast and surf. Makes a lot of sense. We were also really scared of like fire blast to hit rotom, but um, yeah, makes sense on.
I also just didn't really think Rotom was coming, so I didn't really respect it that much. And I was happy enough that like at least Draco can. I mean, I was expecting just like one shot it, so
Yeah, yeah,
obviously these were max speed F, so
yeah. No,
makes sense.
the reason we brought rotom is because I checked on a bunch of our mons on like what could take a Draco, and it was like, well, it's rotom or
Literally
Clefable.
nothing, yeah.
So and then yeah, Max Fizz Def pretty much. Cofagrigus also did have the Wisp, so I saw that you had Wisp in the post game. I was like, okay, yeah, thank God I respected that, even if you didn't have to click it. And then Magic Coat was a cool addition. I think in one of our scrims actually, one of our opponents brought Magic Coat as well. Um, but
That's so funny.
they said I think immediately afterwards. Wait, I thought this was Magic, or the other one,
Like
Mirror Coat.
Mirror or
They
something.
thought it was
Yeah.
Mirror Coat, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
That's so funny.
So um, yeah, no.
I don't know, it's just like random stuff to be annoying against Hippowdon if it's like toxic or something. I don't
Yeah, blocking the toxic
know.
from Hippowdon is
I find
huge.
myself not really clicking the fourth move that often, so I was like,
Yeah, like
whatever.
against our team, Shadow Ball was super free, and Wisp is also really good into a lot of our roster, so I can understand that too. But yeah, overall, I obviously have I could go on a long-winded rant about how stupid crits are. I should have won that game, da da da. But like I don't know, I had fun. The crit kind of just like made the game end sooner, and with I think honestly when you beat the Guts Brigade, I was like, oh yeah, no, like, I'm not gonna be upset if he wins the whole season. So, um, and yeah, like we are a little bit frustrated we didn't get the top spot because I think in both Gen 3 and 4 in the NHL we were in pretty high in the playoffs. So not.
Yeah, especially like Gen 4, you guys, I don't know, it felt like you didn't even like have that great a team and like you were like half considering tanking to try to get extra in the first place. So like well not like tanking, but you didn't really care. But you ended up getting semis,
Yeah,
which
no.
I thought was pretty impressive. And then the other 2 years you've made finals
So
and
I pretty
probably should have
much
won Gen 5.
that's exactly what happened. Is I think they were planning on like quote unquote sandbagging Gen 4 so we could have a good Gen 5, and then
Yeah,
realizing that everyone was doing that, they kind of changed some of the rules around how sandbagging works for going on to further gens. And we're like,
yeah.
okay, well, shoot, there goes our sandbagging plans. And also, how did we make playoffs anyways? Um, and then I think we made it to like
Literally. I think
semifinals.
I think I forfeit against you because I was like really like I was having like issues just one random week and I like forfeit and these were like, oh, okay. I think he's probably didn't even want to win in the first place.
That's fair.
Because I
That's
think
fair.
someone said, okay, that ruins our plan to like go 0-5. And I was like, sorry guys. But then I like missed playoffs and I just completely like tanked, kind of just messed up Gen 4 despite having like a decent team. But
no,
then I ended up facing you guys in the finals again.
no, real stuff always comes first. So like, I can't hate anyone for saying like, oh, sorry, I had real life stuff going on. Someone threw against us. So we were. Oh yeah, someone out threw us apparently. So, I think I actually remember the conversation after that game. But yeah, someone out threw us. I know there was. I don't know if the Drillbers were trying to throw in Gen 4, but there's definitely someone who were like, "What do you mean you're throwing? We're trying to throw." So, um,
Yeah, I just saw Drix said he like I think he got like the drill, the hippo, the Jolteon, and the Darmanitan were like almost like exactly your set. So he was happy with himself. But yeah, he was a big help for sure.
yeah, like, um, and one of the biggest things of like that prepping and scrimming helps with is like predicting your opponent's sets. So yeah, definitely shout outs to Drix for kind of seeing behind the lens there. Um,
Yeah, I think for me it's even just like actually seeing how your team works in practice more than anything else. Because I usually just like will make my team myself, just I just see how it goes, and like most of the time it just starts off with me losing and me like fixing a bunch of like bad sets that I've concocted because I'm always doing weird stuff. So
Yeah,
I
for
usually just have
me,
to filter out all my bad ideas.
I know some people like to do a lot of scrims. I'm like I'll do like a couple scrims, but like some people will scrim like 6 times back to back, and I'm like, dude, like there's only so much you can glean from playing the same game over and over again. And usually when I scrim, it's to test my sets more than anything else. To say like, I'm like, is this set actually good? And most of the time I'm like, no, it's not, but I'm gonna run it anyways.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. That's me like trying to actually build a decent team.
Oh yeah, I know. Matt and Alfonso on the Guts Brigade are crazy. They love scrims. So yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. After the semis, like they showed me like six different teams. Like they made like six different scrim teams of my team to play against. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are like putting
No,
in like so much hours to beat me.
no. Honestly, I have teamed with Matt and Alfonso in I think it was a League v League season we played in, and part of the reason why I'm like so adverse to playing excessive scrims is because I got so tired of how many games they would play. I was like I understand that like this is helpful and like you like doing this, but I can't stand doing this many scrims. It drives me insane. So
That's fair enough.
so
There's
yeah, so,
only
so
so much
even
time.
even when
Yeah,
even when I'm like prepping with my team, I'm like, hey, like I'll make a scrim team, but like I'm not gonna like play the same game 5 times, okay? Like it's gonna drive me insane. Um,
yeah, no, it makes sense. I think it was more just like I am like super invested in this league, whereas like other leagues I probably wouldn't do scrims very often at all. But
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Or like if I have a player matchup, I'm like, I do not want to lose to X player because we have history. Then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do extra scrims. So
yeah, I think even like because obviously Matt does seem like a really good player, and he was. I think he said to me that he played again in their first round game against the Bouncers just because I don't know. There's something about like the last like week five. There was like Snorlax shenanigans, and the other guy was like kind of beefing with him. So he's like,
yeah, yeah.
he was like, okay, I'm playing this game. It needs to be done.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's peak. That's what the Guts Brigade is all about these days. So yeah. Um, anything else? I think that kind of covers everything about this game. I did want to watch the other game. This was for third and fourth place. Shifty Swamps
Oh
versus the
yeah,
Guts
for
Brigade.
sure.
Um, because I haven't actually watched this replay yet, and I like I said, I was shocked when I found out the Guts Brigade wasn't our like finals part matchup, and then
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
watched
you.
the game against
I
you
was
guys
shocked as
play,
well.
so I was like, okay, that's hilarious. Bronze medal game was a good one. Okay, okay. Off the rip, Guts Brigade did not bring Sun, and Shifty Swamps here is the Latios team. Oh yes, yeah, we played them the round before. Latios being a super threat against us. So
Oh yeah, they had a pretty good team as well. Like pretty interesting. Like just having like two steel types and two dragon types is like pretty good because they're just kind of the best types.
yeah, the Drag Mag, because Gen 5 is when was it Gen 5 or was it Gen 4 even? I think in Gen 5 that was when it became really popular. The whole Drag Mag archetype of you have Magnezone to trap other steel types, and then you just spam dragon moves. And like Haxorus and Latios are like two of the most dangerous dragon types that you can be spamming offensively. So
Oh yeah, no, I really like his like idea of a team this gen, and he obviously did very well with it in general. Like he went 5-0 in the regular season and got to semis, so pretty good plan, I'd say.
yeah, and also like their team, I'm a big fan of their team personally. I love Haxorus. I think it's a cool mon. Um, and Azumarill and Meloetta are two of my favorite like underrated low tiers, mid tiers. Um, Azumarill also being a good pickup going into Gen 6 because it becomes a fairy type. So if they want to keep Azumarill around as a solid fairy, Azumarill was very, very strong in Gen 6. And like Meloetta is a mon that I think really excels in draft as opposed to other formats because it has a lot of really interesting sets you can run that you normally wouldn't want to run in OU, but it also just has normal psychic type move pool. Like it just has a whole bunch of coverage moves. So very hard mon to prep for, in my opinion, and really fun to play with.
No, Yeah, they had a really cool team. I think Azumarill has a really good contract as well, so
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
definitely be happy going to Gen 6.
Get the value out of your players' contracts.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of has to make up for it with like a 41-point Latios, but
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah,
Yeah, the infamous 41 point Latios. Um, yeah, and then like, dude, when I see the Guts Brigades team every time, I'm like, wait a minute, how did they fiddle these mons? Like, this team looks like it's just an OU team. It's got a few like
no,
maybe lower
it
tier
is
subs,
actually so
but
scary.
and that's not even with their Sun Core, um, which I thought was nuts.
Yeah, that guy, yeah, I actually still can't pronounce his name, Naima or something.
Naheima, yeah.
He's like always just cooking up like these God Squad drafts. Like as soon as it as the actual season, like the off season ended, I was like, okay, they've probably got the best team. Like their core of like Rotom, Gliscor, Ferrothorn, Snorlax, it's just so hard to even break.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, no Gliscor or Latias even came, which is crazy because those mons are super dominant in this format. Um, Gliscor finally getting Toxic Heal and all its other shenanigans, and Latias being the counterpart to Latios. And like Latios is scary. Latias is roughly the same thing. It's a little bit more defensive leaning, which Latias is also, I would argue, like a quote unquote signature mon of Naheima. Um, because he loves playing those type of like bulky, balance core, out play your opponent games. And Latias is like exactly what you're trying to do with that a lot of times. Um, so that's
Yeah,
why I like
really,
if I
really
saw that
threatening.
I'm playing against an Ethan team and he's got a Latias, I'm worried because I know that he will be cooking something with that.
Yeah, no, very, very dangerous thing. I think even against me, like they were like, as soon as they saw I didn't bring Bronzong against them, they were like, oh my God, we could have just brought Specs because they're like they had that like weird reflect type strategy to like
Mm-hmm.
counter Bronzong. Yeah, no, clearly like really good mon and like some pretty creative team members.
But yeah, let's just get into this replay before it's already like almost 11:30 my time, so I don't want to be
Yeah,
up
sorry.
too late. I know like you just got off work even, so like
Yeah, yeah, of course.
okay, immediate fake out to activate the toxic orb into the Rocky helmet. This is a classic. This is more like a Gen 6 set almost, the Rocky helmet Arcanine, but definitely putting in work here. This looks like Specs Rotom, or is that just like offensive? Maybe it's just max attack. But yeah, big Hydro Pump on the Weezing. Volt switches. Volt switches. Yo, Drix, thanks for coming by. Um, this is gonna Relic Song. Okay, it just goes for the Relic Song. Okay, they actually brought the Relic Song set. I know that
That's
like
yeah, pretty sick.
it's really cool. It's a fun gimmick, but like it's so hard to like make it play out in practice. So like whenever I see Relic Song actually pop off, I get excited. I think it's super cool. With like it because it gets really fast. It's like 128 base speed, and it turns into a physical attacker instead of a special attacker. So really like inverts the stats around. Even the typing like inverts too. So goes to the close combat Arcanine,
Yeah,
and
I haven't really used it much, but it's a really cool Pokemon.
I honestly think a lot of the time if you draft Meloetta, you should plan to use it in its base form, and as basically like a Calm Mind or like it's kind of similar to like Celebi or Mew, not quite Mew, but like where it's like a Psychic type utility Calm Mind Bond Spadef Wall, kind of like actually Pheasantipity I think is a good comparison, where it's like it just has a high Spadef and moves that are really spammable. Um, but you can pull out Relic Song as like a way of catching their offensive stuff off guard for like a late game clean as well.
Yeah, pretty cool mon.
And then they transform back with the Relic Song here, which is always funny to see. Now they're a special attacker again, and they switch out. This Flare Blitz is okay. Yeah, I guess yeah. Now they're slower even probably. Um, and then okay, this Calm Minds as the Lax comes in into Psyshock. Oh, I don't know if that crit mattered, but I'm gonna guess it did. That's a nasty crit on the side shock.
Yeah, it probably did.
Crit 10,000% mattered. Okay, okay, I believe it. Because it was probably gonna like I don't know body slam, get a para or something along those lines. Oh, this is physical tornadoes. Okay. Lucario is special. It psychics the wheezing. Okay, and it's life orb. Um,
Yeah, it feels like they've been bringing special quite a lot lately. I think they did it against me as well. It makes
well,
sense against the Weezing, obviously.
did it get? Was it like some notable physical moves against later gen that makes it run special physical versus special more, or is it just like? Is it just that I guess in Gen 5 special moves are just kind of stronger, right? So um,
I think it probably just depends like on the matchup each week. It is a pretty good like mixed breaker, and obviously like with its setup and like speed tier and like priority options as well. Like obviously E speed if you are running physical, like it is just like quite scary.
that's fair. That's fair. Um, yeah, no, Lucario is a very dangerous mixed attacker. I kind of compare it to Infernip a lot of the time, where it gets both Nasty Plot and Swords Dance, and you have to respect both in Builder, and you never know, you're not never really sure what's coming until you revealed one or the other. So, um,
No, yeah, that makes it's like a good comparison for sure.
Nightmare in Builder sometimes, but it's also like when you have a Lucario or like Infernip, you're also kind of in a position where you're like, okay, I have to actually bring the right set, or else it's not going to do anything. Just
Oh yeah,
because,
that's like I feel like Lucario is like the type of mod that I just wouldn't use well. But like when I'm like planning to prep for it, I'm like, oh, it could be physical with priority. It could be like special with priority. It is just like a an awkward mon to face and like try to predict that it's like what its actual stats going to be.
well, it's like something I've described about Mew in draft a lot is it's simultaneously like a nightmare to prep for, but it's also a nightmare to prep with because you can sink like hours and hours and hours into making a Mew set and still not be happy with it, or still be like maybe there's something better. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
definitely like a Brewers or like someone who loves being in Builder is the type of mon they like. I know I affiliate like Lucario and Infernape type mons with how Goder likes to play the game a lot. He's a very like setup, likes to like really cook these crazy concoctions of a setup mon. So
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting.
but yeah, so then in comes Haxorus here, and yeah, Arcanine just comes. Arcanine looks like it's just forcing everything out. It's doing a great job here. Although the +1 earthquake does just kill. Okay.
Haxorus is such a beast.
Yeah, it's a demon. I'm a huge Haxorus fan, so it's been a while since I drafted it, so I might have to pick it up again in a season sometime soon. It goes to the Dragon Claw
Probably yeah,
here.
serve you well.
Now it doesn't get fighting coverage. This no, it does get superpower. Okay, I know that it gets close combat in recent gens, but I forgot that had superpower. So
Yeah, he played around that Haxorus pretty well there.
yeah, yeah, scouting the superpower there, now forcing it out, and then is it flying gem, or is that just no item? Is it just no item acrobatics? Oh, sorry, that's me.
It might actually be. That's pretty sick. Because I don't think gems were allowed. I actually thought they were going to allow gems as gen. Like they were talking about it, but then they were like, no, it's broken. We're just not gonna do it.
Yeah, and then and this is why they're acrobatics. It just kills the Latios. Although I think U-turn also would have killed. I could be wrong on that. Um,
They're probably like reasonably similar. Maybe acrobatics is like slightly stronger, but yeah, tornadoes is like even just the speed tier of like 111 is just so good for like specifically things like Letty.
yeah, no, the two speed points that I think are extremely crowded and extremely worth like taking a double look at, especially like Gen 5 and afterwards, is 108 and 110 because the Sword of Justice trios and Fernape, like those are 108s. You have Latios, and in recent gens with Ogerpon forms, 110 has been so crowded, and notably like there's a bunch of 110s that can't be choice locked. So like Ogerpon, Mega Diancie, a lot of these like later gen 110 speed ones, you really have to be careful around. So having Tornadus as like a value like cuts that 110 uh, speed tier down is huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like 110, just as it goes on, just isn't actually that fast anymore. So it's like a 111 speed tier is like perfect.
Also, apparently Haxorus is on a 7 point contract. That's crazy. Seven. That's that's wild to in my
That's
books.
actually
So
beautiful.
I
Yeah,
hope we
I, it was
continue to
just
see
such a
Haxorus.
it was just such like a stacked draft, Gen 5. I feel like Gen 6 draft is like so much worse than Gen 5 was. But yeah, you had like amazing Pokemon like Haxorus going like 20th or something. I don't even know where he went, but like if it was 7 points, it was pretty late. Anyway.
Wait, was Crawdon actually drafted for 1 point? Oh, that's crazy. Huh.
Yeah, I think he picked up in free agency or something. Pretty nice.
Oh, that's yeah. No, I know. I looked at Crawdon in Gen 4 or something, or maybe it's against a matchup we played where the opponent had Crawdon, and I was like, wait a minute, this one sucks. Like, it doesn't get any of the good moves it gets in later gens.
Yeah,
It's like it's a Crab Hammer bot, and that's basically it. And then, like, knockoff is useless. It gets only really Dark Pulse for Dark Stab. Um, but yeah, knowing that it gets access to in Gen 6 and onwards is yeah, definitely a demon to respect. Oh yeah, Aquajet
yeah,
too. Yeah.
it was definitely just like a really stacked draft. So there's just so many good options. That like
Um,
something as good as Hackers falls that cheap. Yeah,
Cardinal was part of the deal for Espeon. Oh, okay, okay. Um, anyways, yeah, Tornadus gets that kill there, and then not Belly Drum, Zoomeril comes in. Now, I don't think it's clicked any moves. It's leftovers, so it's probably like a defensive set. It just switches out. Oh, okay. And this Lucario's gonna Psychic. That kills with the Life Orb.
that's that's like so impressive. It just dies.
Oh no, Zoomeril has clicked Ice
I
Punch.
am as
Okay. And this just extreme speeds the Haxorus. Oh shoot. Click the wrong button. We see
it was
this.
like so close to the end of the.
I know, I know. I have terrible click accuracy. I am terrible for like I was playing another game the other day, and I like meant to put an item in my inventory and then dropped it on the ground and I was like, how did I miss that? Like it was literally like it wasn't even moving. It was I just failed to click in the right spot.
Some it happens, man.
And this is just gonna extreme speed, as it earthquakes to kill. But now this is just unfortunately Haxorus can't win the game. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think oh, it was Belly Drum. Wait, is it Belly Drum leftovers? Wait, what?
yeah, that's insane. Actually. Oh my God, I didn't even have.
Wait. That
Oh,
plus
it
six
must be
brick break.
It has to be Sap Sipper. That's why.
Oh
It's
my
Sap Sipper
god.
to try Wall Marathon. That's actually
That's
pretty
so
cool.
funny, but brick break at +6 not killing Ferrothorn is actual comedy. That's insane.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until I was like, oh, that's why. Because I was like, surely didn't just bring Gyro Ball for this, but it makes sense. That's why he's clicking Gyro Ball. It
Yeah, and
stops it.
Azumarill doesn't get Drain Punch unfortunately, so it can't really do like the Drain Punch Belly Drum set. And then yeah, this Volt Switch is just gonna kill. And yeah, it was a close game. Definitely some cool sets from both teams, but Gushbray just kind of like had the offensive momentum with Arcanine that game. And the Tornadus. What was the Tornadus set? Because I thought it was just no item. Yeah, no item bulk up.
That's pretty cool.
Lucario had a split attack investment with E speed and close combat. Okay. Um, Rotom was not offensive. Okay, that was just a normal Hydro Pump against a Weezing. Dang.
It must have just been like really physically bulky Weezing or something. And also like Hydro Pump's just a strong move. So.
Yeah. Hydro Pump is 110, 120 power this generation too. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just max HP, no spit F, Weezing. Yeah, Azumarill set was super goofy. It was adamant though, so that was basically max attack +6 brick break, just no huge power. Haxorus was
yeah, pretty cool.
Lumberry. It was not Dual Dance. It was only Swords Dance, notably. And then the Metalota was
Interesting.
physically invested. Okay. Um, Running
That was a
Jolly
cool. That was
Lotto
a
attack
cool set.
investment.
I'm kind of curious why Relics on the game though.
I think they should have like if
Because
they were gonna go for this type of like setup Meloetta set. I feel like you do this in the end game, right? Like, you wait till you can just clean with this.
yeah,
So
because it probably would have been like quite threatening in the end game. But like I just don't really understand why it's like Relic Song and then Relic Song back. Like,
yeah, that line was weird. I feel like you should have just hard switched instead of going for the second Relic Song. That said, Relic Song does have a secondary effect, yes, which is fishing for sleep.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So because the Meloetta has Serene Grace, I think it's like a 20% chance to put something to sleep. Um,
Oh, I didn't even think about String Grace. That's I suppose that's fair,
Wait,
but
actually, if sleep is banned, I'm surprised Relic Song isn't just also banned. But I guess it's like too niche and too unlikely to happen to
that's
be
I
relevant.
suppose that would kind of suck though if you banned that, but it's like a pretty cool way to bend the rules, I guess.
That would be rat behavior. Fair, yeah. And then Hariyama was very offensive invested. Okay. I don't know if I agree with this Hariyama set because it feels like it just kind of loses everything, but maybe it was meant to just come in and force out Snorlax and Ferrothorn, so not the worst.
I suppose it makes sense. I was quite surprised that psychic from the carrier just like killed it from 68 because I just imagined like Haryana being like super bulky and it usually is just able
It
to take
looks
a
really
hit.
fat, but like its base defenses are really slow, like really low, and it's just a HP tank basically. So, um,
Yeah,
and like Life Orb is a pretty effective damage boost for Lucario too. So,
yeah. It's like when you think of Life Orb, you kind of think of like something like a Lucario.
mm-hmm. And then Latios was Cobra Berry, and it wasn't even full Spatak. It had some HP investment. Not entirely sure what that was for, but they were running Calm Mind like setup, so it makes sense to be a little bit bulkier. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure he had some reason.
but yeah, those were our last two games of the season. Um, I think this is probably a good point to kind of wrap up. I think the end of our chat here tonight, just because I think it's probably best if I end stream before midnight and get that up. But I
Yeah,
did
that's
want to.
fair. I've also got work in the morning, so
Oh yeah,
I'm,
dude. Oh
what were you
no,
gonna say? Sorry.
don't
No,
let me
no, it's all
forget.
good. You don't have to like rush it. I'm
No, no,
kind of
no.
used to like the sleep schedule anyway. But what were you gonna say? Sorry.
Um, no, I'm terrible for trying to be punctual when we're like people are yapping. I One of my friends they'd run a podcast that I was on one episode of, and they we were talking about it the other day, and basically the discussion was like, yeah, you just kind of like get to the point, and like that doesn't necessarily make for like the greatest like podcast discussion sometimes because half of a podcast is just people talking and getting on long-winded tangents and like not moving on for forever. I was like,
No, you also are like partnered with like a massive yapper. Like I'm just like going into like random like lore this whole entire stream. So sorry.
yeah, no, for sure. But no, sorry. The question that I wanted to ask was, what are you excited for Gen 6? Toady Jordan stream when? Oh yeah, dude, I'm so down to stream with Toady. But shoot, I got sidetracked again.
Um,
Yeah, what are you excited for Gen
Probably
6?
I'm definitely excited to use Mega Gardevoir. It's definitely very good. I know I'm kind of like trying to cook up some trades right now because I've got like quite a lot of when you're the same and you've got like that's the Fable is gonna be beautiful. You've got Mega Gallade now. You've got like Hippo, Excadrill, Salamence, just like a really nice team. But I'm kind of like similar boat where I've got like Weavile that now has like knockoff and Icicle Crash. Because honestly, this season like Weavile on paper, you're like okay, it's like an amazing mom, but like when you just have like Night Slash and Ice Punch, it's just so weak.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's a lot better. And then I've got like Terrakion, Hydreigon, Rotom, Shaman, Starmie, Bronzor. So I've got like a bunch of like Cofagrigus. So I've got like good basis. And Gen 6 is like kind of probably the gen I've played the most. So because
yeah.
like as I was saying, I was playing it back in like 2015 probably.
Well, Gen
So
6 kind of
I'm
like
definitely excited for it.
Gen 6 kind of defined how Pokemon has kind of progressed since, right? Like the introduction of Mega Evolution and the Fairy type really kind of shaped the format, especially for draft going forward. Um, because like every gen after Gen 6 has like some type of gimmick that like is central, and then a lot of like um, building your team around that gimmick. Um, Gen 8 kind of being the exception because everyone just was like, no, Dynamax is bad. um,
Oh yeah, no, that one was Dynamax is like I actually can't even believe they just like okay, our whole plan this gen's just like we're just gonna make all the Pokemon massive. It's like what?
well,
But
and then
I,
even
I I do agree with what you said about like in Gen 6 they like nerfed a bit of the so they brought in Megas, which was like a big power spike, but they also like nerfed the base power of a lot of moves.
yep,
Like
yeah, no,
I think
special moves
like
being nerfed, Assault Vest being introduced, huge changes to the special versus physical argument because in Gen 5, like physical attackers are good, but special attackers are crazy. Like there's a reason why Latios was so hotly bidded up for.
oh
Um,
yeah, it's almost like worth like get a outrageous contract just to pick up a mon like Latios, which could just drop like like you can't even be immune to the Draco. So even like steel types are just getting chunked. Like the choice specs, 140 base power Draco.
well, and there were several times where like we were looking at like calcs and then it'd be like, wait a minute, we're in the wrong gen. We have to go back to Gen 5 because the base power's
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
So I'm excited to be back into Gen 6 era. I feel like even national decks as a tier, both in Gen 8 and Gen 9, national decks is basically trying to recreate what Gen 6 set as a precedent um, with megas and kind of like that whole dynamic.
and all
I
the
think,
move sets. Yeah,
yeah, and like,
yeah. Mega's just like so beloved. Like because like with C moves, I mean some leagues allow them, but in general, like people just be like, yeah, just forget about Z moves, but they want to keep the megas because they're so interesting and there's like so many fun mons
mm-hmm,
that you
mm-hmm.
don't get to use otherwise.
Well, and megas were such like a um generational like gimmick that you would want to build your team around them, right? Like when I draft a Natex team, a lot of time I'm like, okay, what mega do I want to build around this time? Or like, maybe it's not necessarily a mega, but like they kind of like introduced this whole concept of like, yo, you have a Pokemon that can super evolve. It's like your signature. It's gonna be super cool, and that kind of like dictated how people built teams of like, oh, I want to make this the feature. And so in Gen 5, like that wasn't as big of a thing because teams were like, oh, I'm gonna spam weather and abuse you know this whole game plan. And then in Gen 6, everyone's like, I love this mega. I need to make my whole team make it look good. So
No, for sure.
yeah, definitely I love like
I
that
think Gen
philosophy.
6 will be another amazing season for sure.
Yeah, so um and like fairy type is going to be huge. There's so many Pokemon that get completely reevaluated because of that. um I know like
No, I
between
like
Gen 4 and Gen 5, there's a lot of Pokemon that are like, wait a minute, I have to respect this for next gen because it gets, weather ability. Um, like Politoed and like a lot of the rain abusers, Ninetales and Sun abusers. Like, so.
no, I even like I do think that's one of the most fun things, like planning ahead. Because like in Gen 3, I had like Roselia, Piloswine, and like Clefable. In Gen 3, it was kind of ass 'cause it was just like it gets Charm, but then in Gen 4, it gets Magic Guard. And obviously, you guys now have Clefable, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
they evolving through generations and like picking Mons in advance for when it gets like buffed is really interesting.
Yeah.
It kind of like ruined Gen 4 draft because like all the pre-evolutions were taken before the draft. But apart from that, it's really interesting just getting to plan ahead.
Yeah, I know. And I know a lot of people with the announcement of the Legend ZA megas, we're kind of getting like a resurgence of that. But we just don't have any real data on a lot of them yet, so it's hard to make an actual format with the ZA megas. But I'm also like looking forward to the near like future in like not just the NHL but also like other leagues um, of like, yo, like what happens when we start getting access to like you know Mega Starmie and all these other new megas that like are really interesting new takes on the original designs.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be crazy. I could see and adding like a pool of like what is it? Is was it like 30 new megas they made or something?
Yeah, I
Like that
think
would be such
it's something
chaos.
like that.
Just
I
like
know.
testing them all out.
I recently made like a tier list rating them all and like what I thought they were like how interesting or cool they were. In 2028, yeah, in 2028, it's gonna be forever. Uh, is this getting ran back after the Gen 9 draft? I have no idea. You'd have to talk to Stormtide about that. Um,
I think that they're definitely talking about like a second loop of it potentially. I don't think it's like 100% set in schedule,
well, imagine
like
like you
as
go
set in
back
stone,
down.
but
You start at Gen 9 and go back down to Gen 3. That would be really weird. Where it's like, oh shoot,
yeah,
I have to draft Salamence, because I need it for for earlier gens. So
no, it's pretty sick, and especially like because one of the reasons why I was like so excited for this because I'd never done like Gen 3, 4, 5 in a draft league, so I was like, this is all like a new experience for me. I've played a bit of those gens like just in like regular showdown, but it was super interesting just to actually see what was good in these earlier gens.
yeah, no, I've watched a lot of content. There's a content creator I follow, Jimothy Cool, who really likes Gen 3. So I've
Oh,
watched.
I absolutely love like his videos, bro. I feel like half the time I'm like drafting. Like I think he has like a Confagus video, and everyone. Right,
Yep.
sorry, but this is a random tangent again. But like everyone was like, I think might have been week 5 or something. I used like a snatch Confagus, and like it was up against like a Brelin that had like substitute and like leech seed, and it couldn't touch me, and it went, and also against like Skarmory, I like snatched its roost. And all that set was literally like I was watching a Jimothy Cole video before and I like learnt of the move snatch. So I know exactly what you're talking about with Jimothy Cole.
But yeah, no, like he makes really good Gen 3 content. And I was like, um, I think after playing a little bit of Gen 3, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can understand the respect for this format because I was gonna ask, of the three quote unquote early gens that we played, Gen 3, 4, and 5, what was your favorite?
Um, it probably wasn't Gen 4 because I kind of messed it up. But I think it's probably close between 3 and I'd probably say 3 just because like with the super low power level and like no choice scarf. I mean, that was kind of part of why I was like, I spent like the whole season yapping about Raikou because like my team had like nothing for it, and it's not like you can just like stick on a choice scarf to try to beat it. But it was really interesting with like the lower power level of Gen 3, and like I was using like random like nonsense Pokemon like Roselia, which like just had value out of sheerly having Spike in
Yeah,
like a format with like super bad removal options.
I feel like Gen 3 definitely had the most room for like the low tier heroes to really shine. Because I know
Oh yeah.
on our team we had Baynet, like vanilla Baynet, and like that mon is honestly complete garbage, but it has an actual niche in Gen 3 because you can run hidden power fighting, which is physical. So,
Oh
like
yeah, the hidden part, like the physical specialist. I actually forgot about that, but that was like so cool as well.
I honestly I hate that the physical special split doesn't come around until Gen 4, but Gen 3 really made it like feel like it wasn't actually that bad. Um,
Yeah, it was fun and it was like it was actually quite interesting. And
yeah, it
instead of
had a
just
lot
like
of interesting.
now, it's like oh, you see a life score, you just like put a bunch of hidden power ice on your Pokemon.
Yeah,
But it felt like in Gen 3, like certain mons, it was like vital coverage. Like say even like for you guys, like hidden power flying on Salamence. Like instead,
yeah,
you actually get a stab attack.
yeah. No, it definitely helps cover up a lot of the limited move pool options in early gens. So yeah, I had a lot more respect for the pre physical special split metagame after playing a little bit of Gen 3 draft, and then Gen
Yeah,
4 I think um, my issue with Gen 4 is that it just feels like Gen 5 light. It doesn't feel like as hype as Gen 5. Um, but it also doesn't have like the same like it doesn't have the same simplicity that Gen 3 has. It's kind of like a weird middle ground. Um,
yeah. It's I don't know. I just like generally don't have as good memories because I think I forfeited one of the weeks and like one of the weeks I got destroyed 6-0 by like a hunch crew that I'd literally just traded to my opponents. That was kind of fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
And
no, no, it's tough. So
I don't know, but apart from that, Gen 5 was interesting just with all the. I mean, I've just never really played much Gen 5 in general, so I just kind of went into it like kind of hoping for the best. Got like a decent team, and
the way that
I,
I
I
would
I
put
like
it,
the creativity options. I like stuff like air balloon gets added and like rocky
yeah,
helmet and just like a bunch of like interesting ones. Like obviously the draft added like probably like the best draft we've had so far. Just with like stuff Landorus, like can't even remember them. Obviously like Hydreigon, Terrakion, like Victini, Keldeo. It just added like so much power to the format.
yeah, yeah. The way I'd put it is, I think Gen 5 felt like it was a format that really rewarded you for playing in game. I feel like as much as like you can make interesting and cool sets in Gen 5 is a really momentum and offensive heavy format, and like you have to outplay your opponent to win. Whereas Gen 3, I felt like it was a lot more of like an outbuild your opponent format,
Oh
where
yeah, for sure.
you're like you have very limited options, but you also have a lot of creativity you can kind of play around with because of um, even the low tiers have a useful niche that is super relevant. And so it felt like instead of like you have to outplay your opponent because you both have loaded guns at each other. It's more like you can out prep and plan your opponent because you have a more limited move pool, but you also have like more room for creativity because of that limited move pool. So
Yeah, for sure. I think that was probably what I enjoyed the most about it. Like for Gen 5, there are like certain matchups I felt like even in playoffs where it felt like certain players just didn't have the right answers to like big threats. Like say it was like I think it might have been like the wild card, like someone was playing that Rain team and they just didn't have enough answers for Kingdra. Like there was just not
mm-hmm.
that much they could do, it felt like. But I when I came to like Gen 3, there was just like such interesting spreads. Like the amount of times I ran like almost like max physically defensive Roselia, and obviously like its stats are like so awful, but just
Oh, let me pull up
how it
Roselia's
turns
stats.
out. Oh no,
Okay,
it's so ugly.
but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, like oh yeah, that looks like a joke, but I remember like vividly like building this to take on like a Hariyama, and Hariyama just doesn't actually have coverage moves because like fire is like physical. So
Yep, yep.
unless he literally brought like hidden power flying or something, which would be probably specifically just for Roselia, which he probably didn't even think was gonna want it. Like he just had so much interest and opportunities because obviously in normal like someone just like they'd just be able to put ice punch on and like Roselia is just useless. But I was
Yeah.
like running like Leech Seed, Roselia, and then it like gets like 20% of its health because its HP is like so low against like a what 140 HP Hariyama. Like
Well,
I
it's
don't know,
it's
it's just
crazy.
and even against sorry, even against like you guys, like Sableye, which is also like a really shit stat mon. It could just randomly be valuable with stuff like taunt or like knockoff, which is really rarely distributed in Gen 3. So I don't know, it
Yeah.
just felt like a bunch of mons had their time to shine
No, I
if
was
you're
gonna
creative
say
enough.
like Roselia looks like complete garbage, especially without like you have to remember there's no Violite in Gen 3,
Oh
but
yeah.
like 100 base special attack was actually a lot in Gen 3, right? You look at like you think these stats are middling, but then you realize like 100 attack is actually surprisingly strong in this generation. Granted, it doesn't have great special move pool. This is in Gen 5 actually. I gotta change this to Gen 3. Um, but like um, like hidden power fire is actually hitting surprisingly hard off of this. They have actually respect it. Um,
Yeah. I'm like Roselia's greatest propagandist, but it was even just having like stuff like spikes just suddenly made your Pokemon like quite valuable in that format. So I'd probably say overall Gen 3 was my favorite, but Gen 5 was also like really fun as well.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. For our we reviewed two whole games over 2 hours, so we definitely yapped a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm so bad. I'm so sorry.
but yeah, no, super awesome to have you on. Wishing you all the best with Gen 6 in the NHL. Yeah, like I said, I had fun with our game. I know, like, I could balled off the ropes about like, oh, I got hacks, I got crit, but not like. At the end of the day, like, I had an opportunity to play around it and I didn't, and I lost the game for it. So that's just how Pokemon goes.
Yeah, it's just a game that we play. Sometimes you just get crit and lose the game. It sucks. Um, but
Royce
yeah,
is
no,
saying you'll
it was
mod
really
well for me. But yeah, um,
no, for sure. It was really fun talking to you.
yeah. Any last words you want to say before I just send stream off?
Uh, I guess just like congrats on being really like consistent. I don't know. It kind of feels bad. I'm like saying like congratulations that I just crit you in the finals, but obviously you made finals, Gen 3, semis, Gen 4, and
you
finals again. So
you had the underdog boost, right? We had the whole corporation of our team working on it, and you were just like, oh shoot, it's me and like my boy that I can scrim with. So mad respect for the work you put in, and very well
no,
deserved
I've
win.
been doing my best. But yeah, thanks for having me on, and
Yeah, anytime. Thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna
yeah,
end the Discord call, and then I'm gonna say my last little piece to stream and end stream there. So, thank you, thank you.
yeah. See ya. Bye.
Peace. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot to put a name down for who our guest was. That was Ryan. From the team. He was the RB Leap Zigzagoons. Um, he was an awesome guest. I'll probably have him back sometime in the future, maybe for more NHL stuff. We'll see. Before I end the stream, I want to thank you guys for coming out and yapping and listening to us. I'm really excited to see how Gen 6 goes. I really enjoyed getting to play the playoffs for my team for the Obama Snows. Um, I'm a notorious playoffs choker, so the fact that they trusted me to play these games is, you know, something to be said about the rest of my team. But anyways, um, yeah, that wraps up the season. I'm sure Stormtide will have some sort of end of season review or something along those lines with or Stormtide and Glittering Atlas. Um, but they've been amazing. And yeah, I'm glad I could fill in. You got a review next Saturday. Okay, I'll make sure I'm filling in for that. I'm seeing that. In other news, in my news, tomorrow I'm going to be streaming another Pokemon League that just started. For anyone who knows about the OTL League, I'll have a bunch of information about that tomorrow. So we'll have some roster reviews and that whole shenanigans. So that'll be coming tomorrow, and then later this week I'll probably be streaming some more Slay the Spire. So anyone who wants to play Slay the Spire with me on stream, let me know. I've been really enjoying the co-op runs, but I'm also probably just gonna grind out a bunch of single player runs as well. I want to try and get to Ascension 10 with at least one of the characters. So we'll see how far we get with that. But yeah, shout outs to all our Slay the Spire 2 fans. So it should be live with that on Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to stream on Thursday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We have some house stuff going on. I gotta babysit some cats, and then on Friday I'll probably be streaming again, something strategy wise. But yeah, we'll see. Probably just Slay the Spire. Also, I need to make a new YouTube channel for this still, but I did release on the VOD channel a slightly edited singular run of one of my most recent defect runs. So if you haven't taken a look at my VOD channel, um, just remember that exists. You can always find the old stream replays there. I pretty much save every stream there. There's also a lot of older stream replays from when I streamed Smash events on campus at McMaster. So if you want to check out any of that, there's some of the old replays there. If you have questions about the Smash community here at Mac, let me know. I'm in touch with them, but I just have been taking a step back from the events they run just so I can focus on my own content. So also that's going on. And yeah, I'm also working on some editing stuff. I like am very very new to video editing, so it's still like a lot of learning for me. But there's more of that coming in the near future. And thank you guys for being so patient with my really all over the place schedule. I know I technically have a schedule on Twitch that I basically ignore and don't follow at all. So if you keep getting notifications saying that I might go live soon, I apologize. I'm gonna fix that soon. Just a lot of learning going on my end for what it means to be streaming regularly again. And yeah, shout outs to all our league commissioners for running good Pokemon leagues and let me do my shenanigans here. With that said, I'm gonna end stream. If you haven't followed me, you should. I am trying to get to 1,000 followers by partway through this year. Right now the goal is set to 500, which I'd be happy to get to. But yeah, thank you all for coming out. Night night. You've listened to my whole spiel about how I'm gonna do all this stuff and get stuff done. Oh my God, Glittering Atlas! Thank you for the follower. Wow, it looks like it worked. There we go. It's that easy, folks. And yeah, if anyone ever wants to guest on one of these Monday Pokemon streams, please, 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 reach out to me. Just DM me, ping me in whatever league I'm in. I'm happy to have guests on. I just want to make sure I double check with them that they're cool with everything. So, yeah, love getting to chat with you guys, and thank you so much for the support. With that said, thanks for having me on, and yeah, thank you. Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed the chat. Big shout outs to our guest Ryan. I feel like we had great chemistry, but I'm not trying to hit on anyone, but anyways, thank you so much. I'm gonna end stream there. I'm not gonna send a raid tonight just because I need to go to bed. But yeah, shout outs to everyone who came out. Do you have any like ending off things? I think that's everything. I've just been word vomiting about all the things I plan to do, so bye bye. And end stream.